Hi, this is Bob from Plugable Technologies. What I'd like to do today is give a quick overview of using the Intel Thunderbolt software to manage and authenticate Thunderbolt devices on Windows. So let's jump right in. What you see right now is my desktop of my Dell XPS 13 9350 laptop that has Thunderbolt 3. The typical behavior when you connect any Thunderbolt device to a Windows system is that that device must be approved or authenticated in order for it to work properly. So let's jump right in and let's see what happens when I plug a Thunderbolt 3 device in. So let me change the view so you can see. I'm going to plug in one of our Thunderbolt 3 dual display HDMI adapters to the laptop's Thunderbolt 3 port. And when I do that, what should happen in a moment is that the Intel Thunderbolt software should pop up automatically with an approval window right here. And it is basically doing what I described earlier. It's saying, do you want to approve this device to connect to your system? It gives me the name of the device, the Plugable TBT3 HDMI 2X83, and then it gives me a set of fairly self-explanatory options. Do not connect, connect only once, and always connect. In this case, I'm going to select always connect, and then I'm going to click OK. Now, what that will do is allow the device to work properly every time it's connected to the computer in the future. But past that initial approval or authentication, what can you do or how can you manage Thunderbolt 3 devices on Windows? Well, the way you do that is to come down to the Intel Thunderbolt software icon that's in the task tray on your system. It's the one with a little Thunderbolt on it. If you hover over it, it'll say Thunderbolt software. And then you can right-click the application to access the different components. The first item is View Attached Devices. If I select that, I can see all the attached Thunderbolt devices to the system. In this case, this laptop has one Thunderbolt port, so it has one Thunderbolt controller, one port, and there's the pluggable device connected to it. If I click on the device, it tells me a little bit more about it. All right, pretty straightforward. What other options do we have? Go back, right-click on it. We see there's an option to manually approve attached devices by selecting which port, and if there was another device out here that hadn't been approved, I could do that, but there's not, so there's nothing to do here just now. I can manage the approved devices, and it shows a simple list of the devices that have been approved to work on the system and whether or not they are currently attached. I can remove devices and remove selected devices, whatever I need to do. Okay. And go back. I can look at some basic settings for the application itself in regard to Thunderbolt networking and application notifications. And then finally, I can select About. And this Thunderbolt details screen is useful in that it gives us a lot more information about what Thunderbolt software is on the system. For example, it tells us the software package version, the application version, the service version, the controller driver version. It also tells us that the security level for this system is set to user authentication. Well, that's something we'll get into more in a later video, but that's the reason why when I first connected the Thunderbolt 3 device, it asked me to approve it, because the system is set up to ask the user every time a device is connected. It also tells us the NVM firmware version of this laptop, 26.01. This is the low-level firmware that can control how Thunderbolt devices work on the system. So that's just a quick overview of Thunderbolt 3 device connection, authentication, and management on Windows 10. Hopefully you find that useful, and thank you for watching.